In this video, we'll learn how to turn a single-page HTML and CSS website into a 5-page website using PHP includes. Okay guys, so let's go ahead and take a look at the single page layout that we're going to turn into a 5-page website with PHP includes. So I've had a lot of questions on how to create a multi-page website following the single page website tutorials that I have here on YouTube, and I'm going to show you the best solution I think that's better than creating new HTML pages to add to your website. So let's check out the layout that we're going to be working with here. So in the upper left hand corner we have the logo, followed by the navigation off to the right hand side, and then underneath that we have the image slider, and then this section with a title paragraph section, and then a button which will link to my Bootstrap Udemy course. And then moving on down the page beneath that we have the Jumbotron section with the 3-column layout with headings and paragraph text, followed by a 2-column section further down the page with the text and button on the left and the image on the right. And then moving on down to the bottom of the page we have a footer section with a dark background and a 3-column layout with the headings, text, and then the button off to the right where it says send us an email. So let's scroll back up and take a look at how it's going to appear on tablets and mobile phones. So as you can see at 768 pixels, it's going to transform into the mobile version with the drop-down navigation, and then that's the breakpoint where the 3-column sections are going to turn into a single column layout. But before that, the 2-column section is going to turn into a single column layout at 992 pixels. Okay, so let's scroll back up to the top of the website and see what we need to get started with the tutorial. So in the description of this video will be the tutorial starter files, which will include the completed single page layout, because all we're going to do in this video is transform it into the 5-page PHP version using PHP includes. So if you want to learn more about designing Bootstrap websites, you can check out my course in the video description, or check out my tutorials that came out prior to this video, because a few of them were covering the design from the Udemy course. Okay, so once you've downloaded the Bootstrap starter files in the video description, let's take a quick look at index.html and style.css. So I'm going to open them up in the free text editor called Sublime Text, which I have in the background right behind Google Chrome. So as you can see right here, index.html and style.css are completed for us with the layout of the website that we just saw in Google Chrome. This way you can take a look at the website layout in your browser, such as Google Chrome, before we turn the files into PHP, which you won't be able to open in Google Chrome without the use of a local server, which is what we're going to go ahead and cover next. So for any of you watching that have taken my Bootstrap Udemy courses, we know that they cover 3 different local servers. In this video, we're going to cover the one that's my favorite, which is called Local by Flywheel. So what I'm going to do is just show you the 5-page version of the website that we're going to set up here after it's completed. So we're going to go back and set this up, but I just want to show you the difference between the HTML version here, where we have the index.html extension, and then right here for the 5-page version on the local server we have index.php. So what we're going to need to do is change our HTML file into a PHP file, and then we're going to be able to link through all the different pages using PHP includes and only having to reference our navigation once inside of our files. Now let's go ahead and just change that index.html file into index.php. So I'll just delete HTML, change it to PHP, and then say that I want to use .php as the file extension. And now if we go ahead and open this up, we're not going to need to change anything to the top of the file to declare it as a PHP file. But if we go ahead and try to open it in Google Chrome, for example, let me just show you by changing the extension here. all we're going to see is the raw HTML here rather than the actual web page displaying for us. So let's go ahead and move over to our local server with local by Flywheel. Okay, so if you go ahead and do a Google search for local by Flywheel, you can go to the website and quickly download it for free. Okay, so if you go to their website, you'll see the big free download link, and then you can select Mac or Windows depending on what type of computer you're on. And then all you need to enter is your first name and your email, I believe. And then for the number of websites, you can just say that you don't know or that you don't use WordPress yet. So Local by Flywheel is built for WordPress website development, but you can use it for any type of PHP website. I'll just show you how to get rid of the WordPress files once we start the site. So let's go ahead and select the plus button in the lower left hand corner, and then we can just add any name for our website here. So I'll just say new 5-page website, and then I'll hit continue, and then we can just leave this as a preferred environment. And then for the WordPress username and password, you can just enter whatever you want because we're not going to need this later on. And then we'll select add site. Okay, so once we've done that, we don't want to go to admin or view site yet because that's going to bring us to a WordPress page. So what we're going to do is a search for local sites on our computer. And once you go ahead and select that, it's going to show you the local sites that show up in the left-hand bar here on Local by Flywheel. So I have it right here in my favorites. So I'm just going to select new 5-page website, and then we'll go into app and then public. And this is where you're going to find all of the WordPress installation files. So we'll just select all of these files and folders and then move them to trash to get rid of all of the WordPress files with this local site. So once we've done that, we can go ahead and just drag and drop all of the starter files with the index file changed to index.php into Local by Flywheel, or you can copy and paste them in. Alright, and then once we have the site added to Flywheel, let's go ahead and open it up in Google Chrome. So now we can go ahead and select the View Site button. Okay, so now that our site is open, we can minimize Local by Flywheel, and then I'm also going to X out of style.css because we're not going to make any changes to that for the rest of the tutorial. So just make sure that the index.php file that you have open is from Local by Flywheel and not from your desktop or wherever you have the files located outside of Local by Flywheel. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to open up all these files inside of the includes folder from the starter files. So I'll just select them and open them all up with Sublime Text, and then I'm just going to move the index.php file in here with the include files, and then let's go ahead and move the public folder to the side. So what we're going to do is we're going to divvy up the HTML from the index.php file into these include files. So all we need to do is reference a simple include statement inside of our web pages in order to include all of this HTML, so we don't have to write the HTML out for every web page. So the first part of the website that we're going to add to an include is all of this information inside of the head tag. So we could include the head tag and the doc type HTML, for example, but I just want to include the information inside of the head tag. That way later, if you want to change the title of a particular page or add a description for a page, you can add that inside of the page's PHP file rather than including it inside of the include file. So as you can see, once we do away with the information inside of the head section, all of our style is gone because of the Bootstrap styling and style.css. So let's go ahead and just paste it inside of head.php, and then we can add the include statement here. So we're just going to say PHP include, and then in a single quote, we'll reference that include file. So we'll go into the includes folder, and then it's going to be head.php. So we'll say includes / to go into the folder, and then head.php, and then we'll just add a semicolon and close out the PHP statement. Okay, so now if we go back and refresh the page, there we have all of our style back because the links to the style sheets are referenced in that head section that we've just added to the website using our include statement. So the next section of the website that will show up on every page that we'll want to add to an include file will be the navigation. So let's go ahead and copy all of this navigation HTML, and then we'll move over to the navbar.php file, and then we can just paste it in. So we're going to be coming back to the navigation later so we can make it so the navigation link appears highlighted for each page that we're on. But let's go ahead and add our include statement here, and all we need to change is the file extension to navbar.php. And then if we go and refresh, there we have our navbar back using the include statement. So the next thing that we'll add will be the footer of the website, because that's going to appear the same on every page. So let's go ahead and select the navigation for the 3-column footer layout. So if we scroll to the bottom of the page, we can select from end footer to start footer, and I'll just copy that and delete it. And then we can add our PHP statement here for the include with includes / footer.php. And then let's go ahead and add the HTML to the footer.php file here. So I'll just paste that in and then save it. And there we have our footer content at the bottom. And then the last section that we're going to add will be the script file references at the bottom of the page here. So I'll go ahead and copy that. And then we can just add the include statement here. So includes / scripts.php. And then let's go ahead and just to see that it's gone, the two things that won't function without the scripts will be the drop-down navigation and the image slider. So now if we go ahead and paste it in and save it and refresh, now we'll have the image slider functioning and our drop-down menu back. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do before we go ahead and make it so our navigation displays a highlighted link for every page we're on, let's go ahead and just populate the rest of the PHP files so we have content appearing on every page. So we're not going to add more HTML content to the pages right now to fill out our content. We're just going to copy it and paste it from the original HTML file. So if you want to learn how to lay out more web pages, you can check out my previous tutorials or my course, as I've mentioned in the description of the video. So I'm going to go ahead and just open up the rest of the PHP files here. So we have the pricing, portfolio, team, and contact us. So if we go and take a look at the portfolio page for the completed version, we have a heading at the top, and then we just have some repeated content from the home page. So let's go ahead and just add, we'll just add one quick HTML section once we add our includes at the top of the page. So I'll just copy the nav bar, the head, and the doc type information to put at the top of the page. And then we'll select the info at the bottom for the footer and the scripts, as well as the closing body and HTML tags. And then paste that in. And with that, we should just be able to see our navigation and then the footer content at the very bottom, which will display at the top because we don't have any content in between them. Okay, so let's go and add just a simple HTML heading so we can distinguish the different pages with the portfolio text that we see there. and then we can just paste that in to the other pages for pricing, team, and contact us. So we'll just say div class row, and then we'll say margin top 5, which will be 3 rem or 48 pixels. And then within that, let's go ahead and add a col-12 with Bootstrap, which will take up the full width. And then we'll say text center, and this will add some additional padding for us with the col-12. And then we'll say margin top 5 again to add an additional 3 rems of padding. And then we'll just say heading 3 portfolio. Okay, so that's going to add enough padding for us to add some separation to the top with the space the nav bar takes up and some additional white space. All right, so now that we have that, let's go ahead and just grab some HTML content from index.php. So I'll just copy the 2-column and 3-column sections here. And go ahead and paste it in. And I'm actually going to paste that underneath the nav bar. So the nav bar, since it's fixed at the top, we don't have to have that at the very top, but I'm just going to keep everything in order and add the heading underneath that. And if we go ahead and refresh, there we have the Jumbotron section with the colored background and then the 2-column section underneath it. So let's move over to the pricing page. Following the portfolio.php page. And I'm just going to go ahead and copy everything that we have here and paste it in. And then just to add some variety, let's put the 2-column section on top of the 3-column section. And then we can change the portfolio text for the heading 3 to pricing. And then for the team section, I'll just paste this in again and change this to team. And then for the contact us page, we'll just paste in the portfolio page just to add some more variety with the heading or the 2-column and 3-column sections on the top and bottom per page. Okay, so everything looks good here. So let's take a look at the layout here. So as we can see, when we go through the different pages, the navigation links aren't going to stay highlighted. They're only going to be highlighted on the home page because, as we'll find in just a moment, we have an active class in our navigation only added to the home link. So let's go ahead and make it so all of our different navigation links will stay highlighted no matter what page we're on using the navbar.php file for our navbar include statement. Okay, so here we have the home link, as we can see, and what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of this active class that's there only for the home link, and once we do that, none of the navigation links are going to stay highlighted no matter what page we're on. So what we'll do is we're going to need to make it so using PHP, we know what page we're on, and then once we know what page we're on, we can add the active class. In order to do that, we're going to create an if statement. So we're going to say if, and then in parentheses, page equals, and then in quotes, home, then echo the active class. So we're just going to say in single quotes, active. And then we can go ahead and add the semicolon and then close out our PHP statement. Okay, so now if we go back to the home page in our local site, we'll see that the home link isn't staying lit for us yet. And the reason for that is because we don't know, or the website doesn't know, what page home is. So what we're going to do is in our include statement for our nav bar is we're just going to say page equals home, and then we'll just add a semicolon to separate it from the include. Okay, and then now if we go back to the home page, there we have our active class added to the home page. All right, so that's all we'll need to do to add the active class to the different pages. So let's go ahead and just say what page we're on in our includes here for the nav bar for all of the different pages of the websites. So we'll just say portfolio for the portfolio page. And then for the pricing page, and then the team page, and lastly the contact us page. And I'm going to include a dash here for contact us. Okay, so now what we'll need to do is if we go to the pages, they're not going to stay lit up because we don't have the active class added. So let's go ahead and just copy the PHP statement to add the active class, and then all we'll need to do is change the relative page names to the names that we just gave them. So we'll add portfolio, and then pricing, and team, and then our last link, contact us. Just make sure you include the dash, which was included in the contactus.php file. Okay, so now we have all of our links highlighting, except for contact us. Looks like I misspelled it. So we'll just change that to contact us and then go back and refresh it. And there we have all of our links. Okay, so that does it on how to make a single page HTML website into a 5-page website using PHP includes. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you have any questions, and please remember to like this video and subscribe.